Thanks for coming back today. Our theme is The Humble Request for Wisdom. This is our series of Solomon, part 4, from 1 Kings chapter 3, verse 9. Therefore, give to your servant an understanding heart to judge your people, that I may discern between good and evil. For who is able to judge this great people of yours? In this verse, in chapter 3, we understand that before, in the preceding verses, Solomon, as the new king, had kind of maxed out the amount of knowledge he had and his wisdom. He had gone to another town, and in this area, he had already built a great, beautiful place where he offered many sacrifices to worship God. Now, the Jewish people had only one area for worship, and that was the tabernacle. And that was located in Jerusalem. But Solomon decided to go to another place to offer. And perhaps he felt Jerusalem wasn't a large enough area because they had to offer over 1,000 animals. So he had this temporary place built where they sacrificed to God all day. Well, that night as Solomon prepared to sleep, God talked to him about how he had a great start and God wanted to give him something. And so in this dream, Solomon thinks of the things that God could give him. It could be money, it could be power and fame, a great name. But Solomon decided to ask God for wisdom. He wanted wisdom to know how to rule the people. Now that's wisdom, so he had to know how to applicably rule as king for all the people of Israel. He needed that wisdom. So he said, God, please, there's so many people here. I'm a young king, and you have given me this responsibility, this great honor of being the king for all of your people. So I desperately need your wisdom. Please help me to understand your law so I can administer justice appropriately. So justice means being fair in every situation as it applies to the law and the people. He wanted that opportunity to be fair with all the people as their king. Well, so it looked like that God would be impressed with his prayer, and he was, because Solomon did not ask for money. He did not ask to be a famous king or all those selfish requests. He just wanted wisdom. And that was such a wonderful request. Well, in that request, God decided to give him all those other things as well. What about in your life? Is it possible that sometimes we can feel maxed out with the wisdom that we have? We need to ask God. Just like in James chapter 1, where it says, if anyone doesn't have enough wisdom, you can ask of God, and he will give it to you liberally. He'll give and give whatever you need when you ask of God. That's what Solomon did. He asked God for wisdom, and God gave it to him. Why don't you ask for God wisdom and watch God give it to you? Come back tomorrow and see what happens as God gives him more wisdom.